This is Big Flacco from a Convicts Reaction, where we smash, dash, and react. As you already know, man, please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all things to help support this channel, as well as hit that bell notification, man, for future reactions. Anyway, so I've had a couple people ask me my thoughts about something, right? And I'm going to be very, very direct in my feelings about it. And it's about there's an Encyclopedia that the Mundo is going to co-author and whatnot, as well as I think he's contributing to a book. And here's my whole perspective of it. First of all, shouts out to Mundo. I heard that you just left Firehouse Publishing. I watched the video, man. Wherever your life leads you, on YouTube or outside of YouTube, man, I wish you the best. Continue what you've been doing. You've been doing an excellent job as far as enlightening us to your time era as well. I think that the problem, though, with this is this is going to be too one-sided at times, man. I think you would actually have to have both sides, and more along the lines of you'd have to have official members, not the debriefing reports, not the police reports and CDC reports, because a lot of that stuff is still at times could be misleading information. Okay, Mundo had a lot of direct involvement as far as dealing with NF members. He knew a lot of them. He was friends with some of them, so that aspect is going to help the book. But as far as some terms, I think still, man, that there's going to be a lot of fucking backlash that's going to come from the old timers that I talk to. They're going to feel maybe a certain way that there's going to be misleading information, or it's going to be biased towards, the collective. Not everything that's out there is always going to be out there, some fucking public record in police reports or whatnot, even in debriefing reports. Not everybody knew the intricate details of everything that's going on. Now, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be using a lot of stuff that came through DRJ, Death Row Joe. But even then, everybody has their truth, their side of everything. And I think it's kind of hard to have a co-author that was part of the opposition at one time. And that's just my personal feelings. Like, it's like if I did a book, Black Hat, about a particular MA's member's fucking life, and maybe I spin more of a narrative of what I believe and what I've been told, a lot of people are going to sit there and they're going to criticize it. Now, like I said, Mundo was well informed. He was an official member from 71 to 78, 77. He has those resources. We already know what resources he has. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that everything that's going to be contributing to the book is going to be firsthand knowledge. A lot of it's going to be hearsay. A lot of it could be fucking dropouts who did their debriefing report, who embellished certain sides to it or fucking fabricated things. There's going to be all kinds of different things that are going to leave in question. I talked to some of the, as I'm sure he does, I talked to a lot of people who held captain ranks, lieutenant ranks, even general ranks at that time during that era. And there's been a lot of accurate information on Mundo's account. They've all told me that. From Hitman to Altar Boy, fucking Hobo himself said that was a pretty good book. He said that's pretty accurate. But there's also going to be a lot of misleading information that they don't know behind the scenes as far as what was going on within the organization, certain terminology, certain codes, because everybody had their own position of rank and file. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things that is yet to be known that can only come through certain individuals. This matter is DRJ, Babo, Fig, whatever. They all have their own experience as far as holding rank and file, as well as all the people that were under him. There was shit going on in Chino, fucking all these different institutions, man, that not everybody is well aware of. I would have much rather to be listed as a co-author. I don't think that's going to be that's going to raise a lot of fucking lot of questions, a lot of criticism, and not to say that he's not competent, capable of providing information. Sure enough, he knows a lot more during that time era on certain things than I do. 100%, he was there. I can't argue that. That's just my honest reaction. I think it'd be better if he was just a contributor to the book, through his experience. And then you got to cross-reference and corroborate everything. I've come to learn that law enforcement, CDCR, they get a lot of misleading information that is not accurate at times, especially during that time era. And a lot of times, the people who are writing these reports spin the narrative of how they want it to be fucking perceived to their fucking higher ups. This is the truth. There's been certain things that I've brought on here that other carnales didn't know, right? But that maybe I was talking to Fig, who was maybe directly involved in it, or I was talking to this person or that person. And so, if anything, I think that it's going to raise a lot of questions, man. And I already know that there's a couple people who want to put something together based upon who's writing this book. You know what I'm saying? As far as law enforcement former metal. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect to them. I'm probably going to purchase it either way. Um, but I still think that, NF needs to tell his truth, its story. You know what I'm saying? And there's those that are still out that have. Fix told his story. That's his truth. You know what I'm saying? I know Bo wanted to work on something, not more along the lines about that, but about his life. So there's different areas in which they can go. There's other members that are out there that have been around that people don't know, that are hidden in the shadows, right? That are watching everything that goes on and they're listening to everything. And a lot of them want more accurate information about what they went through and who they were. How do you think some of these old timers have reached out to me based upon that? So yeah, that's my I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be some shockers in this new books that comes out, man. They've been trying to put this NF book together, I think, for like 2 years, and the Encyclopedia for like 2 years. But it's going to raise some criticism. You know what I'm saying? It's just like with the BGF. I think that only they can tell their story. I can break down certain things that are going to be accurate, some things that are just fucking, questionable, some that are hearsay. And at the end of the day, I still can't tell their story. You get what I'm saying? Nor can anybody else. You can only tell what you experience, what you know from what you're dealing with. Everything else is hearsay. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, most of these fucking debriefing reports were fucking fabricated half the time. And not everyone is as, back then they were not as abreast to what was really going on at times. A lot of corruption, a lot of manipulation, a lot of things of that nature, man. And there's a lot of stuff that's not put out there that actually occurred within this, 72 to 78 era. You know what I'm saying? In fact, there's been some stuff that's been on certain people's podcasts, and they've talked about certain things, and I know who was directly involved in some of this shit, but it's not mentioned that way. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, I'm interested to see who from the NF contributed to this book. You know what I mean? I think it would have been smarter to have a co-author, and it's not to knock the book. I'm going to get it, but this is just my personal opinion. That's all it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you guys still tap into it, purchase it, and whatnot if you're interested in history. But I'm going to purchase it with a foresight to know that whether we choose to or not, right? And this goes for me and everybody else. Sometimes we could be biased without even knowing it, because of what we used to be represent and who we used to fall under. It doesn't mean that we are doing this deliberately. It's just this is an experience of our truth. You know what I'm saying? And so whenever I hear a Mundo spill, I listen because he has a lot of accurate information. His stuff's good. As long as it doesn't venture outside of things that are hearsay that he's gathering, then cool. But I still kind of question whether he should have been on as a co-author. And maybe this is misleading information. Maybe he's not a co-author. So 3 people have told me that, and they've asked me my opinion. And this is it. I don't personally see it as a direct problem. I just think it would have been better if it would have been somebody else doing it, as far as him as a contributor. You know what I'm saying? But being a co-author, you're going to get more money. So I get it. Get that bag. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to sit there and I'm always going to keep the wrong real. You know what I'm saying? I think if I was to write a book about like the MA or be a co-author, there'd be issues. Or if I was talking about the AB, there'd be issues. Even if it was just during my time there. Because I dealt with a lot of those cats down the lines. But I still wouldn't know the details of what really happened. A lot of it's hearsay. A lot of it has been fucking spun, narrative to change. Based upon who's writing it. Because see, too often, man, with these old reports, it's not based upon facts always. It's based upon how the writer spins it. You know what I mean? And there's so much shit that is not known by law enforcement, believe it or not, or they've heard it, but they haven't put it out there because they can't confirm it. So this is going to be interesting, man. But this is the reality of what I feel about it, man. Much respects to Mundo. I enjoy his content. I enjoy his channel. I hope he comes back to YouTube with a fury and, maybe elaborates more on some of the stuff he's talked about. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I got to really voice my opinion of what I really feel. And I think that it would have been better to have a co-author that was a former NF member during that time era. There's still a bunch of them out there, guys. You know what I'm saying? And I think it can still be done. But I know in response, there's going to be a lot of individuals that are going to have a certain feeling about this. Let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to pick through it to see what's accurate, what's not. They're going to criticize what's not. That's just the nature of the game, man. Anyways, this is Big Flacco, Comics Reaction. Hope you guys have a good one.